Hey, and welcome back to VFX Tutors, and I'm Josh, and we're still continuing with our UVing. If you're just picking up at this point, we have got up to this point, so we have done these, so they're not laid out. Yeah, what is that? Oh, I think that's that. So we've done these. Need to do that little pin there. Missed that. Cool, and they're kind of just like blocked out, so we're just going through and we're going to UV the whole thing. Most of it's fairly much the same all the way through, but yeah, we'll just carry on. So we'll do this sort of piece here, which is very suspect. And yeah, we are just pretty much going to be carrying on. If you're just picking up now, we're kind of doing the same thing as we do. So I know I've gone through and tried to check as much of it, but we should still check all the bits because there's probably some things that maybe I've pulled. I don't even know. Not that it really matters, this bit, but it would annoy me. Cool, so if we do any geometry changes, we need to make sure we delete the history. And straight away I just delete the UVs and go to UV and camera based. So I'm just gonna create some edges. We can turn off the checkerboard if it's a little bit easier. I've changed the layout because I've just realised in the previous ones you probably can't. I made it so we got a little patch for our keyboard because I think maybe I've not been able to see it, some of it. But so I'm just going to cut that. Probably won't see any of this, but like I say, good practice. And sometimes it's easier to select on some bits. Oh, let's just do it like that. So we've got to add that cut in anyway. So I know UVing is not the most exciting part, but it's 100% good to be able to do it properly. I don't want to do that. What I'll do is I'll just keep it attached on there for now. Let's see how that looks. And I'll go to set because we've already got our texel density from our previous ones. I think we actually need to there is actually one more thing I think we still need to model that we maybe missed. There's actually a pin on here as well that maybe I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure we might have just missed a tiny fragment or something, but that's that all sort of done. So let's do this let's do the layout as clean as possible of this. Cool, I'm just going to throw that over there. You can turn your checkerboard on, you can see it's all good. if I do select all that, I can see where it's all, where I can place it now. These should all be set. Yeah, just double checking because it kind of looked a little bit. Maybe it is because it is very. This seems. Very large, but I think it should be fine. Cool. Have we done that bit? That was a very quick little bit, but very easy to forget. We may as well do these little bits as well. Let's have a look, see what we got here. Yep. Probably don't need to do the inside, but it's you could probably hotkey all of this, and it'd be much faster. But try not to. I'll basically try and keep it on my Maya as vanilla as possible without any custom stuff, because if you then have to pick up anyone else's file, or if someone picks up yours, and you've got all these custom things, and what they have tried before isn't working, and it's all kind of messed up. So, but that's all massively down to preference. So I'm using a lot of hotkeys here at the moment. Control U, which is unfold. I'm sure there's a hotkey for cut as well, but and I'm just going to pull that to one side. So this is where you can sort of duplicate stuff if you really want to. It's a fairly simple object, but I don't think we need to. So I can just duplicate that. This is kind of what you'll end up doing with, I know we blocked out a lot of the nuts and bolts and stuff before. So now you've moved that, you want to just going to pull that to the side. Just going to delete the old one and freeze transforms, delete all the history of that. So now if I select everything here, we've got those there. It's kind of the same thing you do for all the nuts and bolts as well. So I might do that last. Let's get the main chunk of stuff done. So we've got this. I must admit, it's probably I probably could have maybe modelled this a little bit better, but because it's hard surface, maybe we get a little bit away of stuff we don't see. If there was one thing that I would want to go back and sort of clean up, it would be this. Kind of got a lot of stuff, but it's not a massive deal because it's not being animated, it's not being destroyed or anything, so cool. So it's probably actually why did we not bevel this? What was the reason for that? I think it was fine as it was. Sorry, I was just curious. You know, sometimes it's just like you end up going modelling so much you forget things that you've done. So I'm just going to get all these flat surfaces. Maybe we'll actually... Either way, I have to cut that there, but we'll definitely assess that again when we unwrap it. I say a lot of this stuff is going to be kind of hidden anyway by bolts and stuff. So it has created some sort of weird stuff. Let's cut that there. I want that straight. Let's unfold that. And I'm not massively bothered if it's a little bit warped into that bit because it's kind of on the inside. That being said, if we need to change it, we can, so... I swear sometimes now... Oh, I swear I just cut that, didn't I? No, I didn't even cut it. I think that is because we have that there, and that should come out a bit straighter. And we can always use our, if we select our edge, scale it in one direction, edit, pin selection. So now that can't be moved. I'll probably do this a lot, then unfold it now. You want to unpin all, then optimize. And that should keep it nice and straight. There is a straight in UV tools, but if I'm honest, I actually prefer to do it manually. So what is that bit? Okay, so that is our edge actually. Should probably sew that back together. That fit in there. I'm always thinking about places where I can sort of tuck things in. Definitely want to pick places where I can hide seams, even though it's kind of like you probably don't need it as much, but I'm actually going to chop this bit out. I'm just trying to... do you know what I probably should do? Let's just do that for all that as well. Let's set our textile density so it's all the same. No, that doesn't fit in there now. That's just supposed to go that way. Probably more than likely, but let's not worry too much. Did I set that one? Yeah. So it gets to a point where maybe it's actually you wanna... Oh, I'm thinking out loud here, which is let's just go for it, see what it does. So that's all within one unit. Cut that there. That'll probably be a better one to... Yeah, so I'm just gonna set that whole edge, scale it down, get it, pin selection, unfold it, it's now all nice and straight, edit, unpin all, and optimize it. Set our textile density. So we could shorten this if we wanted to, but I'm not sure if it's really a big deal. we're not really going to see. Some of this geo is kind of like, well, you probably could have deleted it, but I do need to make sure that you get in like a modelling trance and you just find yourself just looking down, staring into the computer. So I'm quite happy with how that is. And we'll restack a lot of this stuff anyway. So probably could have deleted some of these, but so what we have here is we may have forgotten to actually bevel it properly. So let's just fix that. Quite simple to fix, really. It's just one of those annoying things you've got to keep an eye out for as well. It's one of the downsides of mass bevels, but sorry, delete the history of that. So a sort of UV pass is kind of also a nice little pass to check what's kind of broken or messed up. And these bits are kind of hidden away, so I'm not going to worry too much about where they're thrown or put. Generally, these are probably bits that we could have deleted, but you never know if you actually want to do some other stuff with it at the moment, because it's such a small loss, it's not really causing us any harm. Yeah. No, it should be fine. So in reality, it's kind of entirely up to you how you want to organise your UVs. I just really like to try and keep them clean and tidy. Just throw that down there. Cool. And we should be done for that bit. Let's find a good home for these. Oh no, that is massively too big, that one. Okay, so let's readdress. Let's hide that. This makes it a bit easier to see. Cool. And we're all looking pretty good. Let's yeah, we are the right way around. Cool. Just checking out that it wasn't like flipped or anything, but we can do double checks on that. Cool, so let's turn that off. And let's go to this next bit. So I don't think there's like trying to think if there's anything else. I think generally, like what I've shown you with UVing now is pretty much everything that I can't think of, apart from doing organic stuff, which we do a little bit of. Mostly of this is actually kind of rinse and repeat now. I think that'll be fine. Pretty much same as before, just going to go around and get all these edges. Wishful thinking, wasn't it? This is probably the limit we can really do for stretching out, because you might have to scale it in the other way because such a curve on it. It's start to get kind of the optimize goes a little bit too far in the wrong way sometimes. But So it's kind of not quite got everything. It just might be a bit. I won't be able to actually do that because this is quite a small piece, but it's alright, we can do some manual stuff. It's no problem. Obviously see some vertices that we've pulled by accident, but we don't see it, so seem to have cut something by accident. I imagine it's the same on the other side. Yep. Oops. Should have paid more attention. But so I hope you're enjoying the fantastic life of UVing. I honestly don't think it's that bad. It can be a bit monotonous, but so that's an odd result. That's quite lumpy, so it looks like we may have that's why. I thought I did that. Still very lumpy, which I am not keen on. I was trying to figure out what's going on. Because in reality, this is not a... Now, if we really wanted to, we could just go like that. We could select all first. And we could probably just go to UV. You still have these tools here, and you got camera-based ones, which will now do a camera-based projection. And if we optimize that, that'll pretty much make that perfect. If we unwrap that, it's off. Not really sure why that was so wrinkly, but sometimes stuff just gets wrinkly. Who knows? What are we on now? 35. sort of stuff we can tuck in here for sure. That is now 2 pieces. What have you got going on here? Probably just want to stitch that back up. Yeah, probably could select the edge loop, but I didn't want to. Basically, because you'll probably end up doing too much. Like that. We'll just scale that out a little bit as well. Sometimes you just have to do it a couple times. Doesn't quite get the message. Now we've just got all these little nubbly bits, which we can just I do think maybe I need to go back to using a proper camera at some point instead of the webcam, but webcam is so much easier. These are all just like the little bits inside. Stuff we definitely probably could have just like deleted maybe. But hey, we didn't, so let's go back to our checkerboard, see how that's looking. It's all looking pretty nice. The one thing that I know is pretty pointless, but I do want to just rotate that around so it matches. I know, pointless, but it made me feel better. cut that. Tuck that onto there. I don't think we got enough space to put in any other Udem, but I'll probably just organise these a little bit tighter. Cool. So yeah, I think as we get, I'll do these a little longer. These ones will go up to an hour, I think. Just because by now you probably already know how to do this. Now it's kind of the walkthrough. We don't see in there, so... Or do we? No, yeah, we definitely don't. It definitely does get a little bit tricky now, because we got such interesting shapes. So I'm going to cut out there. If it actually... Yes, might just be overthinking it. Let's see what happens when we just unwrap it. Kind of feels like that something's not right here. It seems very squished. But yeah, that's kind of wishful thinking, so... Let's just cut that there. Luckily this bit's plastic anyway, so... Don't necessarily have to worry too much about directional stuff, because there's no grain in it. Though we still want to make it, like, not look wacky. Seem to have added quite a lot of bevels on that. Well, what's done's done. It's not affecting our models, so it should be fine. Let's cut that. Just going to move that out of the way. We need to do the other bits as well. That's annoying, because if I'd done it 2 bevels, probably could have. Let's ignore that triangle, isn't it? That's probably the best way to do that. Made it a bit better, didn't it? I think that's worth doing. I know some of it's a bit tedious, but once you get through it, it's not so bad. Cool, so I feel that's much better. Let's give this one a bit of relief as well. Well, it really is. We probably don't really need to, but if we can help it, we will. Now this one's now come out all nice and straight compared to where before it was kind of really wobbly and knobbly. bit that's on the inside, isn't it? Not particularly bothered about how that looks, because that is just the bit that tucks under. Those should fit in there. Let's get this backwards in it. It should be fine. Now let's set our text density if we haven't already done it. See, we're actually quite large. That's why sometimes it's nice just to do it as you go along, because then you effectively now have to reorganize it again. So do be aware of that. It gets a bit annoying. Cool, so let's have a look how that looks. Yeah, that should be fine. Let's turn that off. It's going to turn around a little bit more. And we'll just do the same again. Select all our bits that we've done. Get that nicely in there. So this is plastic as well. So I'm actually going to put that in the top. This is all going to be my metal. Cool, what are we on? 55. Let's stop there and we'll move on to the next one, just so it's not massive, because we've got quite a lot to do. So, if you've enjoyed that tutorial, don't forget that like and subscribe. I know I always say, but it really does make me happy. And it's always nice to know that people are watching your videos. And yeah, let's see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.